My name is Francis Y. Brown, and I'm the creative director and founder of Animax FYD Studios.
Hey, it's Kellen, and today on Diversified Game, I have one of a kind because he may be the first from Ghana to do it. I have Francis Y. Brown, and he is going to give us the game on how he got his animation companies, movies, film, learning process for the kids and for the adults, because he has some stuff that even the adults will enjoy, and I can't wait to purchase it. And I do mean purchase, buy, people, because we have to support this. MoFA is where everybody is talking about right now and how it got on my radar. But you are like the Tyler Perry, Francis, of animation in Ghana. So welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Thank you, Kellen. I'm doing great. I'm currently at Annecy International Film Festival in France, and I'm waiting for my quarantine session to be done and the festival to start.
Well, tell us, with the start, and I'm not going to ask you, if any, a lot of the questions that you have done on some other interviews, because I like to sometimes tag other interviews that did a great job, and you've done some great interviews. But, the process to get this from animation to Amazon is a big deal. And I know everybody is thinking right now, they gave you, a $100 million check, but I've seen the other interviews and you're still in the grind. But how long has it taken you to get to this place with your animation?
All right, so as an individual, as a freelancer, I'll say all in all, I've been on the field for about 12 to 15 years. So 15 years if I'm adding my educational background to it, and also when I started training as an amateur. But I've been on the professional field for the past 10 years. And the studio itself has been in existence for 5 years. It started in the year 2015 when I legally registered it.
And because good black does not crack if you take care of it, some people, those who watch and those who, maybe will listen and then want to put a name to a face, they'll say, hold on, 15 years. Yes, he started when he was 5, people. So that's why, it's like that. And me too, because I've been doing this 20 years of consulting and public relations, and I started when I was 2, just came out the womb almost. But with that grind, and congratulations, because so many people, would have given up by now. What has kept you going all this time?
What has actually kept me going is pretty much simple. Is the fact that I was born an artist, and also my inspiration, everything comes from the fact that I'm able to create all the time. So I have no other, though I qualify to be in other fields, but this is my drive. This is my passion. I feel like this is my calling. Like how other pastors will say they are called to be preachers of the world, the word. Others are saying that they are called to be doctors. So this is my calling into the world, to be able to create animation for global consumption.
And how have you sustained yourself for those young artists who are listening and say, I have the same calling, but one, I know if I contact you right now, all the other artists are contacting you looking for paid work. How did you sustain yourself? Did you have to have other positions and jobs while trying to, sell your genius?
Yeah, so what I did was, I'm multi-talented. When you put me in any field in animation or art, I will function. So before I actually went to film school, I was a traditional artist. So I was doing a lot of signboard paintings for commercial purposes. And when I enrolled in the film school, I was able to also grasp the full idea of filmmaking, the full concept. So I can write, I can shoot, I can direct, I can edit, I can create the sound. Like I'm a guerrilla filmmaker. So what helped me the most was when I was building this studio, I was leveraging on the other skills that I had, like photography skills, to go on to other projects to work. And I used that pay to come and fund my passion. That's the animation. So I was mainly robbing Peter to pay Paul.
And what do you think separates you from so many others? Because people always will try to compare themselves to like a Michael Jordan or LeBron James and say,
Yeah.
look, I shoot just like them. My stats are just as good, but nobody is beating down my door to, bring me to the next level. What do you think has propelled you besides just the grace of God, which I'm going to take that answer away from
Right.
Yes, that's the given, for all of us, if not by his grace. But is there anything else that you can tell the people where they can say, okay, I need to tap into that more?
All right. So I think, first of all, I can't take that one off. It's by the grace because we have a lot of people who are doing what I'm doing. So the rest is my fighting spirit, my fighter. I don't give up. I don't easily give up. So I try, I hit. When I hit the wall, I find alternatives to go around the wall, or I find tools to break down the wall and go through it. So I'm a fighter when it comes to pushing my ideas and my passion through. I also have good communication skills where I make sure I socialize a lot. I try to meet new people all the time. And when I meet them, I try to also find ways to bring to the table my value. Because I noticed one thing that a lot of artists don't do is we are very much inward. Um, Inside our heads, we are saying a lot, but outwardly, we are not saying anything. We are just frozen, and we'll be in front of people and we'll be frozen. So I learned how to now come out of that bubble, how to come out of my head and to truly express um, who I am and what I'm able to do and all that. Because when you meet with other professionals, they're able to talk about their craft so much, and you might end up going home just knowing a whole lot about them, and they know less about you. So I learned that craft of how to socialize. And when I socialize and it turns into business, then I know how to also handle the communication aspect of the business.
And can you tell the audience how has conferences and festivals changed your life in pursuing your career?
Conferences and festivals have really changed my life in a major way, major way, where I can't really phantom the full aspect of it. But what I can say is it enlightens me a lot. It opens my eye to see that you might be good, but you might not be all that good. That you need a lot to learn. You need to keep learning. You need to keep pushing yourself because you keep on seeing new trends. You keep on seeing things that are above you, beyond you. You keep on understanding the reason why you're doing what you're doing. Even help you to also see those that you are better than, and the things that you need to add up to your skills to upgrade. Conferences, it helps you to also fully understand your business, like the business of animation. For me, for instance, it helps me to understand the the present state of animation, the current state, and also the future, what is all about and how we are going to shape up that future. So these conferences and festivals helps us a lot. And winning awards too from the festivals also gives us the opportunity to enter certain doors, certain places that on a normal day you can't just write to them or call them that, hey, I want a meeting. But once you get that trophy, it automatically puts you in that position to be able to make certain calls and even enter into certain rooms.
For the young artists out there, or even maybe the old artists who haven't yet cracked the code, what would you say is a healthy budget in Ghana? And maybe you go to festivals all over the world now, but when you started off, what was a healthy budget? Because, a lot of people in different fields say, oh, that conference, they want money. And yes, that's how they put the conference together. So they need money to do that. But, for somebody who has their CDs and they're trying to budget, what's a healthy amount of CDs right now to put towards the conferences and the festivals and the workshops in Ghana?
I mean, if you're in Ghana, there are a lot of, first of all, there are a lot of free conferences going on. So you just have to check around you, go onto the internet and check the kind of art conferences going on. A lot of the embassies, sometimes their cultural attaché organize some of these workshops, webinars, conferences for artists. And the ones that are paid for, you can start as low as 1,000 cedis to involve yourself in some conferences, and you end up with all sorts of packages. Sometimes you get to have a whole CDs or a hard drive or pen drive full of information, documents on how to even keep your books, how to go about your business. So 1,000 cedis and above.
And how political is, when you're pursuing your career, you have to be a likable person for anybody to want to do business. If you're nasty, I don't care how great your art is, you're not going to go too far. You mentioned communication. How political, and how have you been able to separate yourself from others that you've seen? Like, this person, they act like they're, a Sophia from a Sophia in London and Kim Awa people, they act like they're him in a movie. Not that in Kim is really like that, but, I just give the people some idea, because sometimes people have to know these things because they're intimidated before they get in the building.
Yeah. So normally, personally, I'm not sure I'm too conscious of that particular aspect, but I'm naturally cool, calm, collected. When I'm in a space, I try to observe a lot before I open my mouth. I like to understand the situation, the kind of people around before I approach anyone. I end up always approaching one or two people, because the more you observe, the more you take your time to understand the proceedings in a particular room. It gives you a very clear direction as to who to target, who to talk to, who to express more to, because some people in their words or in their exchange, they tell you who they are, what they are looking for right away, because they came with a purpose. So my main thing is I'm always quiet. I look at what's going on before I get in there.
And can you talk about, the cost of creating such a great, project that you have? You have multiple projects, and I know it takes a team to make a dream come true so you hit your goals. But for those who say, well, I want to watch it, but I don't know if I want to support it just now, can you talk about how expensive just one episode is? I'm a children's book author, and so I tell people it costs about $10,000 to sometimes do a book back in the day. Now it's a little cheaper, but animation wise, I'm still paying, at least $150 a page, because that's what my animator said, or my illustrator said they want it. And I'm going to always pay somebody what they want and not try to make a deal. So can you give some people like a ballpark figure? Because folks have great ideas all the time, but until you put your monies to work, it's just an idea.
Yeah. So with animation, the concept of budgeting comes from frame per second. And for the audience, those who don't know how animation works, you have to draw or expose your images 24 times. So you're drawing 24 different images to make a second. 24. So per that 24, per every second is normally around $100. But that's for the international standard. If you say international market, the European market and American market, where it is really established, it starts from 100 and above. Some go all the way to $500 per second. So we do about 50 to 100. It depends on the quality of and also the details in the said project.
And it's somebody out there, they were listening, they heard every word you said, but math isn't everybody's strongest suit. I want you to rewind that back 10, 20 seconds and listen how expensive. So when you reach out to an illustrator, an animator, and they tell you that price, you know what it is. And also when you purchase this on Amazon or whatever other networks that it goes out on and you purchase it, you know that you're really getting a deal. You're only paying for a small fraction for that piece that is going to possibly change your life. Because a lot of kids, especially those who are, Black kids from around the world, when they see themselves on film, and there's very few people who are doing it, and there's very few people who are doing it that look like those characters. So how important was it for you to have these, traditional stories mixed in with the new age? How important was it for you to push this out?
It was very much important to me because I was tired of seeing kids consuming, kids of today, 21st century. Myself, I grew up watching a whole lot of foreign content on the TV. And up to now, we've still not changed that particular situation where you want to entertain or educate your child, or you want to distract them from, you want to take the attention from yourself and give them something else to do. All that you notice most Africans will be doing is to turn on foreign content for their kids. And as an animator, as a filmmaker, a storyteller, I felt, why not? There is the need of filling that gap. That bridge needs to be built because we can't keep just trying to copy other stories. I have something that I say that you can't prepare breakfast better than an Englishman, the tea and bread breakfast. you can't prepare it better than an Englishman as an African. So you also have to learn how to create your cocoa, your local ones. And that's exactly what we set out to do. And gladly, we have it in a very good place. We have it in a better place. And we still keep on brainstorming and crashing our brains to the point where we'll be able to be much more dependent to be much independent, to be able to widen our scope.
And I have to throw in, because you're messing with the food, and the British can have all of their breakfast as long as I can have my jollof rice. And yes, folks, we will get into that. And I will say this: Ghana can beat Nigeria any day in the jollof rice war, but Senegal is saying, hey, Nagadef, we went in because we are the original. And Senegal, you guys got the crown. We got it. Nobody wants to battle with that.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Now, you went with Amazon and some other networks. There are people like myself who say they don't always want, and I say these at conferences to people who are buyers, they don't want to give us the fair share for our Black content that we know will work. Even Tyler Perry, it took decades, for him to keep pushing and pushing to get where he's at right now. What has been your, experience with trying to sell to the networks?
So trying to sell to networks has been a very tough thing. It's been very difficult. When I started out, I felt I was always crying over budget. Oh, I need production money. And the more I get on to the next level in my career, in my business, I get to learn that securing production budget without a solid distribution channel or a machine is useless. You'll be in debt, which is who are you showing your film to? And that particular distribution machine or channel is the most difficult aspect for filmmakers. And it has been for lack of better word, let me use, it has been hijacked by these conglomerates, these giants, where for you to be able to get into the proper mainstream, you have to go through them. And getting through them is a nightmare. So getting distribution deal, it's very challenging. It's almost close to impossible. But the trick around it is, to every filmmaker, you need to, as you're producing, you need to always check your genre, check the length of your film, the the particular theme that you're going with, and also look for a distribution agent, a distribution company that does very well in the kind of project that you're producing. Once you're able to secure such a company to back you up, you're likely to secure, if not one of these giants, you're definitely likely to secure something good for yourself.
And let's talk about that. I have a black-owned distribution company. As far as I know, they're the only black-owned distribution company that does business with various people. They know everybody. When we go to the NATPE conferences, everybody knows who they are, and they're friends. But do you think that these distribution companies, and sorry, I have to go there, they have the connections, so they do as much changing as saying, hey, from a Nigerian saying, I'm gonna, show you how to do a goosey soup, and a Ghanaian saying, no, I'm gonna show you how to do a goosey stew. This is pretty much the same thing, same almost ingredients, everything. Hey, grab the Maggi, grab the Pepe, grab the goose, but I'm gonna switch the name so I can sell it to my audience. Have you seen much value besides the connection, or do they also say, you know what, your episodes are too long, or don't speak too much pigeon or tree in there because we want to make this a global audience? Like, how much of the creative side going with these people have you seen them make an impact?
Wow, this is a tough question. And I don't know how to, it's a bit political. I'll try to answer it this way. For someone like me, it's been a long time coming. So I'll use my experience to say, um, I believe that I needed a foot in the door, and I needed to be seen and to be valued for the kind of work that I'm able to produce and my studio is able to produce. So we weighed out the pros and cons of some of these things that you talk about, and we felt, well, we're looking for global eyeballs. We are looking for more eyeballs to see what we do, because it's not enough to just show it to Ghanaians, which is just about 30 million eyeballs. And even out of the 30 million, you might be getting only about 5 million in their homes or on social media. So we decided to go for the masses. And the masses, yes, we have it in local settings. Sometimes we even chip in local languages in there, but we made sure that we kept the identity intact, just the language that we changed. And sometimes it's because, and the good thing about this particular production is we funded it ourselves before whatever came in. So as we were producing it, we had some liberties to do what we want. But when you're going for funding from an executive producer or a funding company or a streamer, most of the time they want to have a hold on a creative direction, not entirely, but what will make their project sell, because they're all about the bottom line. They're about what will give them back their investment and also some sort of profit. Yeah, so basically, we went with the whole idea of let's push our content, having all the uh, 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 cultural elements in there, but we just lose a fraction of it as the language to make it audible for any audience who watch it around the world.
And anybody out there, I know you have spoken on previous interviews, about not getting it in Ghana yet, but Ghana, I mean, you guys have Jumia, you have, Amazon. I know it's a little taxing, but on the digital space, can can it be maybe even cheaper in Ghana, because it's not like you're having to ship anything over? So can there be a deal to say, hey, Amazon, and Amazon used to let you pick your price. Things have changed a little bit depending on your deal. But can you say, for Ghana, we're going to make it even like a discount? And the people will never know besides this interview, because you'll never be asked this question again. But is it possible to do something like that? Because, you always want to give a discount to the home team, but Ghana's internet penetration, if we believe the records, is only like 39% versus America's that's in the 80s, or even South Africa that is like 56%. So people, he's coming to Ghana, but he needs your sites to, support this. But can you talk about just how impactful an Amazon Prime deal is, and how, for those who do have the internet and can stream, how they can change the game and change that narrative? Because if they all buy, even that 39%, the powers that be will say, okay, Ghana really wants to see themselves in animation.
Yes, we are definitely working on that. Our agents in negotiations with them to be able to look into those kind of things for Ghana, and not just Ghana, for Africa as a whole.
Okay. And because I know people who do film, and, there's some great stories in film and animation, but we all kind of need to know each other. That's why I get so excited with interviews like this, because we all have to connect so we can learn, because, the powers that be, and I'm going to call out a network, Netflix, is known to take your stuff and not want to pay you for 2 years and say, we'll figure it out if we really like it. And it's like, those deals have to stop, and we'll call you out because I got nothing to lose. I listen to my President Trump. What do you got to lose? Absolutely nothing, because you gave us nothing. I fought for everything that I have. With that, we want to do deals with Netflix, but they have to be righteous deals. We want to do deals with everyone. Have you looked into streaming on your own platform and saying, you know what, we're going to go from A to Z, and we're going to handle, ourselves internally as well?
I think when I was talking earlier on, I made mention of something like that, where I said we are now brainstorming and crashing our brains to the point where we will be able to control our own distribution channels and also have a say. Like, because just look at it. If you don't have the train or the plane or the car or the vehicle that you're going to put your content into it and ship it out to people, you're always going to be at a disadvantage point, because you always have to go to the airport or the bus station or the train station to take others, the product of others, to take you there. So definitely it's something that we would love to have in the coming years, but we need to also build our tech and also internet penetration needs to go up in Africa. The tariffs on internet is insane in Africa, especially in Ghana. Like the amount that we are being charged just to browse on simple thing like Facebook is insane. So all of these structural stuff needs to be deconstructed for us to be able to have a seamless distribution or platform for some of these things.
And the best is yet to come. But I'd like to know, what is your community give back that you are doing or that you want to do in the future? Because with all the success, I know that you have to bless.
Yes. With that, we do a lot. So we have internship programs that we run for the universities around. We have about 5 universities that we run internship programs for. We also have an autistic and also all inclusion school that we go to empower them through art, not just animation, how to create art, how to create simple things. Every month we go there, and their name is Multi Kids Academy. And we have screenings, outreach screenings that we go around the country showing animations and talking about career. So it's like we name it Animals Career Day, that we go around showing schools what is possible in the animation industry and field, and how they can channel their what they are learning at school, right? School in visual arts, to become something that will be their lifeline in future.
Well, all of that is, I mean, that's beautiful. That's a movie in itself, an animation movie or a documentary in itself. Let the people know, any last words. I don't want to give them a game overload because I want them to go buy this for those that can. I want them to go check it out, sit with their kids, connect with their kids while, many of our kids are at home studying. I'm a homeschooler, so, that's every day. But let them know where they can connect, and any last words.
Yeah, so with Animax, we set ourselves to be we want to be the largest and the leading exporters of rich African content, original content, and Mofra is just the beginning of our journey, where we have 8 different shows on that content block. So within that 8 shows, every show seeks to educate and entertain the child on a different subject. So we have shows that seek to teach early birds, like We Love Learning. That's the title for that show. It teaches preschool kids. We have Kuntus, which is a family show that also seeks to educate and entertain the family on how to coexist as a family, how to say simple things like sorry, please, and all that. It takes us to also Anansi, which is like a family show, an original African folklore. In our folklore, we have a character called Kokwa Nancy, which happens to be the first Spider-Man. Before the Amazing Spider-Man, there was a Kokwa Nancy. And Kokwa Nancy's story, we tell it with the grandfather sitting by the fireside with the grandchildren and narrating a story, which transcends into an animation story. We also have Captain Z, which is a sci-fi movie. And as we know, a lot of people outside the continent of Africa, or outside being people of color, have the perception that we, people of color, are not able to imagine into the future, which is a very funny concept and idea. Whenever I hear that, someone is like, wow, you're doing sci-fi, you're thinking about the future. Like, yes, we have brains too. So yeah, Captain Z seeks to solve environmental problems, environmental pollution problems. So we go into the future or we go into the past, or in the present, we go into a certain situation to solve a particular problem going on in our environment. We have way to go. Way to go is set in a classroom or a school setting where you teach kids how to coexist, how to say, once again, sorry, how to ask for favor from a friend in a proper way so that you don't end up becoming a bully. So all of these disciplinary ideas are carefully woven into the storyline. You might be watching it and be having fun, but at the end of the day, you will find yourself learning and also appreciating the fun that you're having. So I'll tell all of our audience watching me right now or watching us right now to try their possible best to go on Amazon Prime to find Mofra channel. It's there, and support the movement.
And you guys, if you think I missed any questions, I want you to look in the links in the description box. You will see the link for the Amazon, but also for the Ghanaian American Journal TV, where that brother did such a great interview. I can't copy any of his questions. He tapped on so many different things and had commercial breaks with the ad. Like, watch that. I want that viewership to go up as well, because it informed me how to prepare for this. And I want all the influencers that I know who watch my stuff to say, Kellen, I want to have him on my show as well, because I was going to say some names, but if I miss any influencers' names, one person will be mad at me. It's too many people to mention. You understand, Francis? If I say miss one person, it's like if you have children. Yeah, if you miss your children's birthday just by a year, they say no, it was 2010. Okay, I'm sorry. But I thank you for coming on. You guys, make sure that if you don't do anything else, you share this information with someone else so they can be blessed too. Be blessed, y'all.
For sure. Thank you.
Are you tired of the rat race in America? Are you ready to visit the motherland to relax and rejuvenate? Are you ready to explore all that Africa has to offer? Then check out the brand new Diversified Game Academy course, Prepare for My First Trip to Africa. Are you worried about being able to afford the trip? We got you. We will show you how to travel either on a budget or as a baller. Learn how to stretch the value of the USD. Did you know that 100 United States dollars is worth over 1,000 South African rand, or 10,000 Kenyan shillings, or 54,250 West African CFA? Are you worried about taking your kids? Get the game from Kellen Cash, a bona fide world traveler, having traveled to almost 20 countries, several of those in Africa. Get the game on taking your kids on their first trips. Learn how to find the best tickets, get the visas, and plan your own adventures in Africa. Don't let Eddie Murphy have all the fun. Plan your own coming to Africa trip starring you, produced by you, and featuring you. If you are ready for a life-changing experience, sign up for our course today, Diversified Game Academy. Get prepared and purchase at diversifiedgame.com.